Anime is a genre of entertainment that is relished around the world. It is watched by a diverse audience base. People have a preconceived notion about the entire genre of anime, which in turn leads to a sense of oddity in the people who enjoy the genre. But let's back up. What is anime? The word anime refers to the literal Japanese term which means animated cartoon. So any form of animation or cartoon is classified as anime in Japan. However, in the United States, anime is known to be a niche category for the American population, often perceived as a minor subcategory for a small audience. Anime in America dates back to the 1960s, where there were shows such as Astro Boy and Gigantor. Today, the anime industry is valued at a monumental $18 billion. Japan has a monopoly on animation that isn't directed only at children. Anime in Japan ranges from drama to comedy to romance, and even existential topics. The industry is showing continual growth and is looking at a prosperous future and greater popularity.
When I was a little kid, I've always loved animation. So I loved Disney movies and like Warner Brothers cartoon like Bugs Bunny and Wile E. Coyote, Roadrunner, and that's all the stuff that was on Saturday morning for the most part when I was a kid. And in the early 70s when I was little, Speed Racer came on, and Astro Boy and a few other programs like that came to the States. And so that was like the first time it was like, you knew it was different. And at the time I was living in the San Francisco Bay Area and I went to college, and there was a local college theater that started running Japanese animated film festivals. And it's just an amazing genre of storytelling and fantasy that I really love.
It was probably like around 2007, the original Teen Titans animated show. It was deliberately stylized to mimic the anime appearance, where it was big eyes and like very stark visuals and such like that. Oh, and also like Dragon Ball Z started airing like really late at night, so I would stay up after, like I would not do homework and I'd stay up and just like watch Dragon Ball Z marathons until like it was time to go to school the next morning.
So when it comes to like anime in America, people really like put it aside, probably because of two core things. I'd say the language barrier is definitely one. And then the second thing is that the themes in anime, what's highlighted tends to be the very like overly like dramatic and unappealing parts of anime. And in any form of entertainment, you're gonna have the good, the bad, and the ugly.
It's a genre that's just can be pretty much anything. And if you look into anime, the stuff that comes from Japan, they have stuff for little teeny kids. And this may sound weird, but they have X-rated anime. So it runs the gamut just like any kind of storytelling that we have here. So it's from kids to adults.
I don't like that people think cartoons are just for kids, because it limits the medium. Just because it's a certain style doesn't mean that it's only for one group of people.
Everything is kind of overemphasized sometimes, so it's like the eyes and the hair and the gestures and embarrassment and crying. And so I think they look at it, think of it as being weird when it really isn't. Many of the animators in Japan were heavily influenced by animators like Walt Disney and Don Bluth and Warner Brothers. And so what's amazing is what we gave them, they gave back to us in a much, much bigger form. I think some anime does get a bad rap. Because there is anime, it's somebody's imagination kind of taken to the nth degree.
There are ecchi anime. There are overly sexual anime. That's what makes people like look down on it.
So the over-sexualization of anime is a big problem in my eyes, because a lot of crowds aren't into that, and especially like even people into anime aren't really into that. I think people can see it representing the whole genre, because that's the part of the show that gets circulated around the most. That's how they form the connection. When they think anime, they think it's like this over-sexualization.
If people actually took the time to understand why I like anime, why people like to watch anime, they'd probably come to realize, okay, even if I don't like this myself, I can understand why some people do. And it's really that simple. There's no very deep or serious meaning to it. It's literally just another hobby, and there's not much to it.
There's love stories. There's stories about being in high school, elementary school, loving the world. And some of it is wonderful and beautiful.
it's part of your childhood. So I expect people to like keep liking or keep a connection to what they liked as a child. Just like you have your favorite book as a kid, you have your favorite movie as a kid, you have your favorite TV show as a kid. Like your favorite things don't really leave you.
羽ばたいたら戻らないと言って目指したのは